Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. As you guys may or may not know, last night the crypto market had a wave of volatility. Bitcoin pierced up to over 12,000, Ethereum was over 400, XRP was over 30 cents, and then we had a massive flash crash down, which we'll cover a little bit. We'll cover that. We'll also cover the news. We'll start here today. Nearly 100 million in Bitcoin moved to Ethereum in July, led by retail traders. And if you guys like the video, likes are appreciated. So Ethereum is still the most popular off-chain destination for Bitcoins, as its supply of tokenized Bitcoin grew more than 70% in July. More than 20,000 Bitcoin worth roughly 225 million are now tokenized and used in Ethereum-based protocols. Wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC, represents over 76% of the total tokenized Bitcoin supply, with over 15.5 thousand BTC tokenized. The total supply grew by roughly 96 million in July, following June's growth record. Bitcoins allow traders and investors to denominate transactions in Bitcoin while using applications built on the blockchains. Now, we also have Andy Bromberg, who is the president of CoinList, says the biggest opportunity for decentralized finance growth today is tokenizing Bitcoins on Ethereum. So that is pretty insane, right? Tokenized versions of Bitcoin on Ethereum. And as we can see, this number is trending up, and it is going up. It is reaching its max. It's ever reached 96 million in July, whereas before that in June it was at 59 million. So we will see where this goes and where this takes us. It is very cool to see digital assets as a whole being used more and more and more, with different use cases and different things, and solving different problems for different people. It's definitely an awesome thing to see. We also have Joe Rogan says Bitcoin is transformational and tells audience of 200 million to get on board. So it's on episode 1515 of the Joe Rogan Experience. Rogan promotes Bitcoin as part of a Cash App advertisement. He says with Cash App, you can automatically purchase Bitcoin daily, weekly, or even bi-weekly, known in the industry as stacking sats. Sats is short for Satoshi, the legendary person who created Bitcoin. Bitcoin, what is for sure, is a transformational digital currency that acts as a decentralized peer-to-peer payment network powered by its users with no central authority. I love it. I wish it was the way we exchanged currency, and maybe it will be in the future. Get on board. So really interesting, guys. Now, of course, it's part of an advertisement. I'm sure he was said to say those things, but the thing is it doesn't really matter whether or not Joe Rogan believes in what he's preaching or if he is just, getting paid. What matters is the fact is that it's getting in front of his audience, and he has, I'm pretty sure he has the most viewed podcast, and they're hearing Bitcoin. They've now heard Bitcoin through the Twitter hack. They're seeing Bitcoin on all the YouTube scams. So people are just, digital currencies, Bitcoin, they're seeing these things more and more. So Rogan's views on Bitcoin appear to be evolving. In January, he expressed some of his worries about Bitcoin and crypto, saying, at the end of the day, I just don't really understand how you can have so many of them. Like, how many cryptocurrencies are there? And if you don't have so many of them, well, who's to say when you can stop making them? Okay, so, he's almost just kind of questioning it as like at the most basic, at the most basic terms, right? Like, still trying to figure it out. Now, I think Joe Rogan probably has cryptocurrency pretty figured out. He seems to have a lot of other things figured out. I'm sure he's just keeping it on the low, whether it's his own choice or someone's telling him to. Who really cares? But I'm sure Rogan is if he wasn't before, I'm sure after speaking with Jack, after speaking with Elon and all the amazing people he's spoken to, I'm sure he knows what's going on at this point, especially as prices are going up. Rogan has had several prominent crypto figures on his podcast, including Bitcoin advocate Andreas Antonopoulos and Square and Twitter chief executive Jack Dorsey. Okay, so Joe Rogan has a lot of ties to a lot of people that are aware as to what's going on. And, Joe Rogan asks a lot of questions. He's a smart guy. So, I'm sure he's asked the right questions about crypto, and they've told him, obviously not on podcast, but what happens on podcast and live is not necessarily what happens when the podcast is off and offline, right? That's the one thing is, we get whatever they choose to put out while they do their live podcast. Whatever conversation they have once that podcast goes dark, I'm sure is the much more interesting conversation. Anyways, Grayscale doubles up their position in XRP within 24 hours. So as we know, Grayscale, They manage a number of assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Stellar. Now, the recent update about Grayscale's assets under management indicates that the crypto doubled its XRP investment within 24 hours, the crypto firm. The total investment under management is now totaled at 5.2 billion. According to the update released by the firm on the 30th of July, Grayscale has a total of 3.7 million in XRP under its management. And here is the picture. We'll pull this up. So as we can see, they have different trusts, and these trusts are linked to different accounts. They have the Bitcoin Trust, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Horizon, Litecoin, Stellar, Lumens, XRP, Zcash, and Digital Large Cap Fund. So they have all these trusts that all their institutions can go ahead and buy into, and they doubled their XRP position in 24 hours. You know, this is a big money we're talking about. You know, these guys are selling to institutions. Grayscale obviously knows what they're doing. For them to double their position overnight means that they probably know something that we don't, and they are getting their position now because they see something coming. If you guys like daily cryptocurrency videos like the one you're watching right now, cover altcoins, Bitcoin, everything going on in the crypto space, and try to make it make sense through a logic of clarity, through a lens of logic and clarity, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you guys could like the video, that would help out a ton in growing the community. I always appreciate any support that you guys choose to give to the channel. Now, Bitcoin is sitting at 11.2 after our crash of yesterday. And our crash of yesterday, remember guys, it only took us back to prices of yesterday, right? You had a lot of people on Twitter freaking out saying that this was the dip. I mean, not the dip, saying that this was the end of the world. You know, here it is. This is the end of the bulls. You know, the bears are back. And, you know, the bears may be back. But as of right now, you know, there's no reason, there's no way you could confidently say the bears are back. For all we know, this is a little retracement in a much larger run. And we know we needed a retracement. Like if we want to actually get to $20,000, it's going to be a lot better if we get to 20K with retracements along the way, rather than just having straight candles up every single day to 20K, because it's not sustainable, right? We don't want to fall over ourselves. We don't want to go from, you know, we were just at a $4,000 Bitcoin. Imagine going up from $4,000 Bitcoin all the way to 20,000 and then have it all tumble over because we went way too fast. I'd rather let this thing move slow. And in fact, if Bitcoin started trading sideways right here, I would be completely fine, because then the money will probably start going from Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and these large caps, and start flowing back into the small caps, right? That's how these kind of bull markets work. The money is getting cycled around until we start getting into, you know, the real parabolic stuff. Somebody asked me if this feels like 2017. A little bit. A little, but it's still, we are still nowhere near parabolic. Like when we see parabolic bull runs, you'll know it. Is this parabolic? Kind of. We're going up very fast. But we're still, you know, we're still not even above our old all-time high. So, you know, this is really, in the grand scheme of things, this is nothing. Enjoy this. Also, be prepared for pullbacks along the way. But I think we're going to really see some amazing stuff for the rest of 2020, 2021, and most likely 2022 as well. Our fear and greed index for today is at 80. So despite our flash crash down, we are still into greed. So again, guys, you know, I see a lot of people saying the bears are back. I don't really have an opinion. You know, if we start getting a lot of selling pressure, yeah, maybe the bears will be back. But as of right now, I mean, this looks fine. This looks good. Uphold allows users to spend digital gold on a debit card. This is pretty insane, because if you know you're spending digital gold, only matter of time until you're spending digital dollars and digital currencies. The digital investment platform Uphold has announced that its global customers can buy a better form of gold in the UPXAU token. Universal Gold, also known as UPXAU, is a physical gold-backed token issued by the Universal Protocol Alliance and backed by the government of Western Australia. So isn't that pretty interesting? Backed by a government. So we were getting CBDCs, right? Government-backed coins, and now we're getting government-backed digital gold. The token is free to hold and spendable on a debit card with no minimum investment required. It is also one of the only gold tokens that is government-backed. So that means it's fractional, right? You could own fractions of a digital gold. One of the key drawbacks of investing in gold is the expensive methods of custody and transit, which often incurs monthly fees of up to 0.4%. That's right, guys. If you're going to buy real gold, you have your shipping and where you're going to hold it. Are you going to hold it, or are you going to pay somebody else to hold it? Uphold and Perth Mint have now developed a more practical and affordable way of investing in gold via the UpXAU token, especially in light of this year's precious metals bull market, allowing investors to purchase as little as $1 worth of gold with zero custody fees and an extremely unique utility. UpXAU can be spent on an Uphold debit card just like cash, and in many countries, Uphold customers can convert cash in their bank account into universal gold and vice versa in seconds. So guys, isn't that interesting? In and out of your bank account from cash into digital gold. This is insane. Just the way we're going to be able to move money, it is going to be absolutely crazy. I mean, this is stuff that, investors and traders dream about. JP Theriot, CEO of Uphold, said the three killer features of spendability, zero holding costs, and government guarantee make this the perfect product at the perfect time. An enormously innovative form of gold for a world beset by COVID-19 and the trillions in currency debasement it will leave in its wake. So isn't that interesting, guys? Trillions. They're predicting trillions. We genuinely believe that universal gold is the best way of holding gold at one of the best times ever for gold investing. Minted with transparency, all UpXAU transactions are publicly verifiable on the Ethereum blockchain. See, guys, everybody thinks Ethereum 2.0 isn't coming out. Ethereum, there's going to be all these projects that kill it. But look, this digital gold from Uphold, backed by Australia, is verifiable on the Ethereum blockchain. I don't think Ethereum's going anywhere, guys. They can delay, but eventually they're not going to delay, and eventually it's going to be there. The project doesn't look to be failing. There's a lot of great ERC20 tokens. You have companies building on the Ethereum blockchain. I think anything could happen, but I would definitely put a bet on Ethereum. I think it is definitely here to stay based off my research. Obviously, do your own. This is the only physical gold offering in the world that is government guaranteed, carries no storage costs, and is physically redeemable, said Dan Stratt, chairman of the UP Alliance. He says, when you combine this with all that the UP Alliance can provide, transparent value substantiation, digital portability, and debit card spendability, Universal Gold delivers the mainstream solution that gold investors have been waiting for. I think that is awesome, guys. Again, digital gold, think even just a couple months ago, did you even think we were close to this yet, right? And then think back when we had those banks come out and being allowed to offer custodial services. Prior to that, did we even think we were close to that? But look at how fast things are happening. Look at how fast these things are happening right in front of you. Guys, like Christine Lagarde has said, it's going to feel slow. It's going to feel like nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast. And we can see it's kind of what happens across the board. It doesn't have to just necessarily be one token or one project, but across the board, appear far when you are near. And I think that is definitely what a lot of people in this space are doing, from governments to projects to announcements to everything. They are appearing far, but I think they are much closer than they are because, again, we keep getting shocked with news like this. Now, Bitcoin touches 12K before suffering a massive rejection. We touched on this a bit, but we will just recap it. So after climbing from a low of 11,230 up to over 12,000 in the space of 24 hours, Bitcoin was quickly sent tumbling back to below 11,000 after losing more than $1,000 in under an hour. Overall, Bitcoin is now down more than 5% in the last 24 hours, its first daily loss in more than 2 weeks. Despite this sudden loss, Bitcoin has still put on an impressive performance in the second half of July and is still up 11% in the last week and 21.9% in the last month. All right, guys. That is the video for today. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, if you guys could like the video, I would appreciate that so much. I was actually awake last night during the flash crash. So guys, when I tell you the emotions, the people freaking out, the tweets on Twitter of just people saying, what is going on? It was really insane. And one thing that you have to understand is going up to the all-time high and past the all-time high, that's how these crashes happen. They happen very quick. They happen all at once. They happen when you're least expecting it. When you think moon is going to happen the most, you will get a a brutal up to like a 40% correction. And while it's happening, it's going to feel like the whole thing is coming down. But with time, and sometimes it doesn't even take that much time, it could take just a couple days, you are back and you are breaking off to new all-time highs, right? It is just, it's shakeouts. That is all that it is, and we will see that all the way up until Bitcoin makes its new all-time high, wherever that may be. Again, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Have a great day, everybody.